Morning fellas, Ben back again. Balaji is back after a really long time, and just check this bike out. I mean, sorry for the lack of lighting. This is my workstation. I really don't have an artificial source of light here, but yep, that's the 2021, right Balaji? 2021 Himalayan, about a year old, and looks as good as how it rolled out of the dealer. Fantastic maintenance. Few tips I shared with Balaji, and Balaji has showed no lack of zest in holding on to those tips and continuing to exercise, taking care of his motorcycle in great detail. So what's up for today? We are going to be installing the easy clutch on Balaji's motorcycle. So something interesting has come my way. So this is the new easy clutch setup from pro-spec, and what they have developed for the Himalayan in specific is a set of cables, long cables. Now pro-spec claims that this is a straight swap, no tinkering around, no adjusters like the previous long cables that they used to offer. There used to be adjusters here, so that kind of made it a big bunch of mess. I mean, to start with, adjusting here, and then one in middle, and then two adjusters at the housing or the casing, and then another adjuster somewhere here. So it was just a little too much of adjustments to get things to work. And then on an off-road motorcycle, it doesn't make sense to have something that is that complicated being attached to a bike which does all sorts of terrain. So the right approach is to make things as simple as they get on any adventure bike. And yep, there you go. The pro-spec team has come up with a new set of cables specifically designed for the Royal Enfield Himalayan, and this is how the adjustment is inside. This is how the routing is inside the casing. I have made a detailed video on this, so please go check that out on how to route these cables on that fulcrum lever. A simple straightforward installation. Now all that I need to do is put this on the perch, that is the engine casing, and hang that onto kind of hook that onto the clutch perch at the lever end. So one end goes here, the other end goes here, and we shall see how this works. Okay, so this was quick, this was easy. I mean, of course, you got to have some kind of mechanical prowess or affinity to be able to pull this off, but this was not half as difficult as installing the short version. So straight swap, like the company said, like pro-spec has made it very clear that this is a straight swap. One doesn't have to confuse themselves with anything. So there you go. At the clutch perch, you have the longer side of the cable. There are two cables that are being provided. That one is the long cable, and the other one is a short cable that is from here till here. The long cable runs from here, goes all the way from here, and goes to the clutch perch. So at the clutch perch lever end, you have the adjuster, the cable going into the adjuster via the adjuster gets hooked onto the lever, and then the routing is this way. You could have you can route it two ways. You can get it from here or from here. I prefer this side is because the length of the cable kind of becomes very well balanced. You don't have a bulge over here. So the cable being routed from this side goes into this bracket over here. If you guys can see, there's a small bracket that holds all these wires. It kind of acts like a guide. So the cable goes in from there, holds on to the frame, a zip tie on the frame, gets into the box. That is the pro-spec easy clutch housing, casing. And then from there, the second half of the puzzle, that is the shorter cable. So the short cable gets hooked onto the actuating lever at the engine right hand side case. Straightforward, very simple. All you need to do is just hook this here, hook it here, and then hook it at the perch. Absolutely no adjustments here. The only adjustments you will make is here, here, and here. So once you start adjusting, once you start taking away all the excess free play from all these 3 adjusting points, all you need to do is just get the lever to have 0 free play. So there's no free play at my lever end. As you guys can see, there's no free play. Okay, so yeah, with Balaji here holding the clutch, first gear, release gently. Okay, of course you can do it like that itself. So there you go. We're moving on through the gears. Go back, Balaji. 4, 3, 2, 1. Neutral. Try and find neutral. Yeah, there you go. So a much more improved version of the easy clutch. Now the only shortcoming that I many have pointed out is that the clutch plates, they grab, they don't fully disengage when you release the clutch, when you press the clutch. So the rear wheel kind of spins. Oh, you have a puncture, you have a nail that has gone in. You can ride back with that. I hope this is a small nail, only the size of the knob. Okay, so now so now if it's really bad, then I'll not be able to hold the tire like this. I mean, if I can hold the tire with my hands, then it's not that bad. If you're not able to hold the tire, the power of the engine is getting transmitted, like all of it, then you will not be able to hold the tire. It's going to be very risky for you. So that's one way of knowing that, you know, it's not as bad as it can get. So yeah. So now what I've asked Balaji is to take the bike, ride it for a few days. Also, in the meantime, what he can do is he can, to separate the plates, what he can do is he can tie the lever to his throttle and leave it overnight for about 2 to 3 days. He can, couple of days, 2 or 3 days should do it. Every morning before untying the lever, what he can do is he can leave the bike on gear and let it run, like what we just did. So leave the bike on gear, let the clutch lever be tied to the grip, and let the engine run for about a minute or 2, just so that, you know, there's chance of oil getting into the clutch fiber plates and making them wet. So yeah, that should help with things. Of course, running the bike with this new setup will also kind of make a difference in some time. Maybe in a week or 2's time, you will know if the clutch plates are still grabbing or they have released. We'll give it a shot and see how things work. But for now, I know that there is not much of a problem with shifting gears. I just went out for a test drive and it felt the same. Even Balaji felt the same. He didn't point out anything particularly odd with shifting the gears. The neutral comes pretty easy. Gear 1 falls in place, and so we shall call it quits. There's hopefully nothing more that needs to be done here. So yep, easy clutch, factory replacement cables. I mean, a straight swap, no modification required. Adjuster at the clutch lever or the perch. From there, the long cable gets routed from over here, comes down this way, goes into the house or the casing, the easy clutch mechanism, and then from there the short cable gets hooked onto the engine casing. That's about it. Straightforward, simple swap. Hopefully this ought to have helped some of you fellows who are considering buying the easy clutch long mechanism. Now you have a clean, dedicated swap from pro-spec. Yep, so that's about it on this video from me. This is Ben signing out for now. Ciao.